Under the radar
Under the Radar FC
semi-pro.
has been a huge part of my life and content for many years now. It's got me thinking, what's next? Could it be time to take a huge step forward by becoming a semi-professional team and entering the non-league pyramid? Join us as we embark on the journey to take UTR to the next level. As I speak with my old friend Spencer, who's been on this path with #United. UTR players of past and present, and some former senior figures within the game to help guide us. So join us as we find out, can Under the Radar go from Sunday League to semi-pro? Also, a huge thanks to Club for
If
sponsoring
Under
this
the
documentary.
Radar
The
goes
link is in the description
semi-pro, that would be mad.
on Club.
Imagine you see Under the Radar team in the Premier League. That
If
would
you
be
aren't aware,
crazy.
let's look into the history of UTR.
So, why Sunday League?
That's a very good question. Do you know what? For me, I kind of fell out of love with football. Kind of stopped playing football 16 to 18. Started playing a little bit at uni, stopped playing it again. And then someone from my sixth form reached out to me and said, like, hey, do you want to come play for my Sunday team? Like, we need some players. As a content creator, what you do, you take a camera pretty much most places you go. Made a video out of it called My Sunday League Experience because it was acting as if like I was trying Sunday League for the first time. Obviously played it growing up, but that's what it was. And then it just really took off. UTR started because when we were playing with the Eltham boys and stuff, some of us weren't getting enough game time or whatever. And also the companies that had invested were kind of like pulling away. So we were just kind of like, you know what, let's do our own thing. Let's try this out. So
Yeah.
myself and Marv got talking about the best ways to start a Sunday League club. We looked into the logistics of it. And yeah, from there, we just went and started a Sunday League club.
Starting a Sunday League team is it's not as easy as
You think?
some people may have made it look.
Yeah, man. You got
So you
got
also
mad
have to-
commitments and that. You've got to do like get in contact, get players, go get the fees, get the kit. It's long, man.
to the league. Then it's getting affiliated by the FA. Then it's finding the right players to fit the team. Then it's going to all these meetings, all these league meetings that I probably should have went to more. But yeah, it's like there's a lot of admin side of it that you don't realize until you're really in it. And it's like, it's fun, it's entertaining, but it's also a lot of work behind the scenes that you really don't realize that a lot of teams go through.
Recording Sunday League games, not many people had actually done it before and actively made series out of it, but Smith was, I'm pretty sure the first in the UK or one of the first, maybe even in the world, to be recording games and commentating. But I didn't know that at the time. We were just doing our own thing, and we started to build. And like from there, we were kind of like the catalyst in a way for a lot of teams to follow suit. And yeah, Smith is like the first. Then obviously you have Spencer coming in with hashtag and what he did and where he's taken hashtag to. So yeah, there's a lot of inspo out there. There's a lot of people that are doing this now. Sometimes the viewing's more than Premier League matches. First season of UTR, we, like I said, family friends first signed. Toby, my brother, Jed, my brother, Simon, JJ, Tolu, Thomas, all these guys.
Red. With a man down.
Banded together. As a result of that, like, people were so interested.
My name is Tolu Jonah. I'm the captain for UTR. The reason I joined UTR is actually because one of my closest friends, Manny, set up a team and thought we need all the boys playing together. And playing football semi-pro was a bit challenging for me mentally, but playing with my friends, I never doubted football. I never doubted my ability. So being able to play with my friends, showcase my talents, that's one of the main reasons I joined UTR.
I joined Sunday League football because I wanted to kick ball with my brothers and just get fit, get a little bit fitter.
Yeah, I want to do that, man. Start a Sunday League team one day, man. And just kick ball with my boys. Or like streamers. Oh, that would be wavy. Imagine Sunday League team. Oh my god, that's my dream. I've just come up with a new dream. Sunday League team. I create a Sunday League team with a bunch of streamers. That I put like I usually used to put up in the bed. But I put like all the underrated streamers in there. That and they can actually kick ball. That would go off. That would go off.
It's an experience.
Yeah, my name is Eric DeMello.
Nah, that's a new idea. That's a new idea. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that one day. One day, I'm gonna do that.
The reason I signed for UTR is a simple reason. I cooked a lot of players that played for UTR back in the day, so they knew about me.
Nah, I'm gonna do that.
And I heard it was a family club, so I said, why not, you know?
Yeah, this is the man then.
Things come together, family club, good
I
players.
forget my man's name. What's his name again? Not Tolu, it's not Reggie.
Good
forget his
mix
name.
of good blend of good football.
Just because Toby asked me, he was like, oh, you know, do you want to come through and just play a bit of football? I was like, yeah, sure. I was quite fit at the time.
Go on, JJ. JJ was actually wasn't that bad, you know.
Guy running around, tackling.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe my passing could have been better, but you know what? It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Because we had the big guys on there as well that are in the sidemen, we didn't want to bring people to the games because we wanted them to be as normal as possible and not turn it into a meet and greet. So we didn't allow people to come watch games.
I hear it.
But we also still had a massive following online. People almost made UTR their second or first team that they supported. So it became this massive thing that no one ever intended it to be.
First team they support UTR, that's crazy. That is motion.
Good football. It means hard work. It means family.
Look, just starting a football match with the man then. That'd be so wavy, bro.
It means fighting for each other. A lot of reasons make UTR great, you know, and that's what I fell in love with as well. So.
UTR now is very different to when we first started, but they have a lot of talented players. What I hope they can bring back is a bit more of that family feeling that we had before.
I hold a lot of the players close to my heart, so if I'm able to see them on a Sunday, pleasure. I always want to
1, 2, 3 UTR, 1, 2, 3 UTR, 1, 2, 3 UTR. If you know, you know.
If UTR is cancelled, if there's no UTR on a Sunday, then yes, it's a long day because you always think, when are you going to next see them? So, if all things, UTR means family to me.
That'd be out. That'd be Porsche. Hey, Porsche, sponsor me, man. Sponsor me.
First season, we got a treble. We got a documentary on that, which was an amazing and surreal thing to do.
Oh, yeah, they got a treble, isn't it?
So many people enjoyed it. And just to see
These man were,
the impact.
these man, they were playing football. They were cooking guys left, right, and centre, week in, week out.
So many people enjoyed it, and just
I remember watching this, man.
That something that started so small and so little that it could have an impact on so many people.
Jed was cooking guys, Toby cooking guys, Totally, Thomas,
bits out of us, and that happened at times. There's plenty of clips. I could probably make a 20-minute montage. What goes for your head at that point? Happened at times.
Do you want to kill that guy?
I could probably make
Look at that.
a 20-minute montage.
I would punch somebody. I remember when Manny got injured as well, popped out his shoulder.
After the first season, we had to improve because we knew everyone was coming for our heads. Everyone wanted to beat us. So we had players like Sam Bailey who had scored goals against myself.
Oh, Sam Bailey was wavy. What do you know about Sam Bailey? Sam Bailey was wavy. That guy on the wing was causing problems. He was causing problems. Sam Bailey was hard. Sam Bailey was so hard.
Way before, and then even as we started UTI, it scored a couple of goals against us there as well. One very good one that I do remember, he cut in and hit it left foot, top bins. But yeah, we added Sam into the fold, and that was pretty cool as well because it showed that
Sam was Sam was on drugs. I'm convinced. That guy, he was on something, though. He was too hard. Too hard. Too hard.
What makes UTR special is that because people are seeing this gameplay week in, week out, it's not a thing where it's like, oh, it's just Manny or whatever. So many of the other players that people take a liking to, they can relate to. Say they see him in the street and all of
I remember they were sponsored by Puma for very long.
There's a lot of people that
and they switched to what was it? What's that band called? What that band called? The
second team that people
yellow
supporting,
thingy, whatever.
Hundreds of thousands.
Yellow bus, like I don't know what it's called.
Bigger.
Not loud or something. Cloud or loud or something like that.
People start to get recognition for it and start to get following for it as well. So that's really cool. People start buying the kit and wearing the kit and start saying, where can I get this? Where can I get this? How can I support? So it's a massive thing all in all.
So we're looking to move away from Sundays to Saturday football into the proper football pyramid. The league we're applying for is step 6 of non-league. For those who don't know what that means, the SCEFL is short for the Southern Counties East Football League, occupied by teams from Kent and South East London. The SCEFL occupies steps 5 and 6 of non-league alongside a large number of other regional leagues across the country. The leagues become less regionalised as you move up the pyramid until step 1, the National League, the 5th tier of English football. Above that you have League 2, League 1, the Championship, and of course the Premier League.
If they make it to the Premier League, genuinely, no, clip it, ship it. If UTR make it to the Premier League, genuinely, don't know, but UTR have to make it to the Premier League. If deep it. If UTR actually makes it to the Premier League, I'm gonna have to be gay. Because that is like, you know how, if they do that, man, then fair play. If they do that, man, then fair play.
21 years
Fez.
ago, AFC Wimbledon formed and
Fez.
joined Step 5, the 9th level of English football, and have been a Football League club since 2011, achieving 5 promotions in just 9 years. This shows that
Wait, what was that?
club since 2011, achieving 9th level of English football, and have been a football that you have League 2, League 1, the Championship, and of course the Premier League. 21 years ago, AFC Wimbledon formed and joined Step 5, the 9th level of English football, and have been a Football League club.
Oh, yo, they could actually do it, you know. Nah! Imagine to the man them following them and playing against. No, they can actually do it.
Since 2011, achieving 5 promotions in just 9 years. This shows that although it's unlikely, paving your way into the Football League is possible.
I think semi-pro is an amazing world to get into. I've got quite a few pros and cons when I think about semi-pro. The reason why I love Sunday football is because Sunday football is where a lot of these semi-professional footballers come and just release themselves of their Saturday stress.
Yeah, I hear you saying when you get up in this level, they get too serious in that.
So if we are able to build the same aura of a Sunday team within a semi-professional
That'd be nice.
environment, then I think it would be the best. I think one of the pros of it is that you're able to play the best of the best teams.
What a goal, man. That's why I love Sunday League.
Within a semi-professional environment, then I think it would be the best.
99, what? Chop in, Bazal, Rapid Boons.
The best of the best teams, potentially playing the FA Cups, playing FA Vases, but I think one of the biggest cons for me is how quote-unquote negative semi-professional football can be, and that's going back to the origin of UTR. Semi-professional football could be a very, very big plus if it's done in
the right way.
UTR way.
There is a team who've walked the path from being a YouTube team into non-league. #United. They joined the Eastern Counties League in 2018, which is at step 6, similar to what we're trying to do. With that, I thought I'd catch up with my old friend Spencer and find out some more about his experiences.
Oh wait, they are, innit? Hold on. Non-league. Yeah, they're in the non-league, man.
I wanted to have this call quickly because we are thinking about doing what you've already done essentially in terms of going into non-league with #, and you've done it really well, of course.
I knew this day would come. Spoken about this many times over the years, haven't we? And for me, it's like it's an inevitable sort of opportunity for you guys to progress. It makes a lot of sense. So yeah, like I've always said, I'm really buzzing for you if you do get it off the ground, and I'm really keen to help because I've learned a lot over the last nearly 7 years in non-league now.
When you decided to make that step, why did you do it? Because I know you were playing like the coaches and staff and stuff.
I've been 7 years in non-league. She hasn't been promoted before.
So we were like 2 years into #. You've obviously sustained what you're doing for a lot longer.
Yo, I really need that light. I look black. I really need that light.
In the non-league or in Sunday league, you know what I mean? And not in a pyramid situation. I think where we were probably a bit different to you is we were a bit older, and we also were really like remote. Everyone in # was based in different places, so it wasn't really sustainable for us to keep playing games. I don't know if you remember something we did called the Next Level League, and that was our attempt at seeing like, is there something long term we can make outside of traditional football? Because we weren't even in the league, not like you. We were in the So anything
I remember because you smacked us 7-1 at Eltham. As Eltham.
Yeah. I do remember that. And our Jack Harrison scored an absolute worldie that day.
Yep. Yeah.
Anything we'd ever won had been something I'd made. You know, that was a criticism we always got. Like Wembley Cup or a division system we made, it was all like, oh yeah, of course you win that. So we were quite keen to like get that off our back. You know how everything works in the Wembley Cup. Like we might have had a little bits of fun with people like you in that first series as to what team you played in and the storylines we made out of it.
I still see it go viral.
I know, man. I think people still think you snaked us.
In terms of like financials, that's the big point. I've seen you talk about it a bit before on your podcast and stuff like that. Do you think it's sustainable to survive on brand deals and sponsors?
Yeah, well, we've done it. We've done it so far. You know, we don't lose money, which I think is pretty unique. Football clubs at the level we're at, unless they have, you know, some ridiculous setup like a Dulwich Hamlet and you're getting 3,000 people through the door.
Yeah.
So you don't need to invest your money into to take advantage of the AI boom. That's what generated over the last 12 months, and all it took.
Oh, yes, it is sustainable. I think it depends on your situation, right? Obviously, brand deals, YouTube views are all relevant to what the views are. So if you're getting enough views, you can do it. All depends on what sort of budget you have.
Just followed. Rosie Bowens, thanks for the follow. Rosie Bowens, thanks for the follow. Hold on, I'm trying to sort out my camera because it's bugging.
Always been outspent by other teams, and we just managed to moneyball it to an extent. The word sustainable gets thrown around a lot in football. Like very few clubs are actually sustainable. I think with this model of a football club that we have, and it sounds like you want to continue to have, it's just like another club could say they're sustainable as long as they keep 1,000 people coming through the door every week, which maybe is what their average is. We're sustainable as long as we keep X amount of people watching.
Come on.
Yeah. As long as we don't find ourselves in a level where we can't afford. Each promotion you get, your costs.
Bro, I look clear in this.
And your views and
I look greedy.
Like, by getting promoted, we've sustained a hardcore fan base, but we haven't gained views.
There's a lot to think about. I appreciate you for having this call with me and making time. Hopefully,
Be Spencer, man. I like Spencer, man.
Half of what you guys have done.
Now, ultra wide is greedy. Ultra wide is greedy.
More of us the merrier. Like, I think it's great to make a decision. I think that the biggest thing you've got to decide is what is your long-term goal as a club and as a man, person running it all, because that's like it will change your life in terms of unless you want it.
Yo, this camera looks so much better. Yo, okay, hold on. Like, this looks T. This looks T. Wait a minute. Yo, that's my day. Pause. That looks T, bro. That looks T. Oh my gosh, I look lame. Yo, the backdrop goes crazy, mud. Oh, ew. This looks T. Nah, this is wavy. I like this. I like the way the scenery is just scenery and do you get it? It looks wavy.
Something that is going to give you something to do for content for the next 2 or 3 years? Or do you want to do something that means your club could theoretically be around in 50 years when you're not even involved anymore? Yeah. These are decisions that this is the time to make them, I think. So if there's anything I can help with, just hit me up. And I think if we do it, it'll be great, but it will be a very different challenge to what you have now.
It's great to catch up with Spencer and find out a little bit more about what it takes to go into the league at step 6 and how that happened for them. Following that conversation, I decided the time was right to try and get Under the Radar FC into the non-league pyramid. So our application to join the Scuffle has been submitted. They wanted us to apply as there are only 6...
Wait! Okay.
16 teams currently with a recommended number of 18. So there are some spots to be filled. Taking care of the application and everything that comes with it is Oscar. Initially, Oscar joined the team as a player after playing for one of our league rivals, Jam. He came on to help us source in ads and sponsorships for the side. However, we discovered that his skills went further beyond that, and so far he's been helping us with this application.
We submitted an application to the Scuffle, asking for them to consider adding us to their league, given the fact that they've got 16 teams and the FA minimum, well, the FA recommended amount is 18, meaning that there's a gap. So there's a room for us to use a loophole. So that required a business plan. We did a 45-page business plan, documented. This is our facilities. This is how we generate revenue. This is
hold on. I know I'm pausing it a lot, and I'm only 14 minutes in, not even halfway there. But I'm gonna have to change. I'm gonna have to add this to the thing. I have to add this. W backdrop. Oh my. W backdrop, man. This looks so wavy. This looks so wavy. Sorry, but I had to.
Benefit football, local football as well. So actually, not just how we benefit UTR, but when we go to away games against certain teams,
Head tea, body tea, everything tea.
Might be playing Xbox, say, oh, I want to go watch UTR because they're local to me. Like, we're South East London based, but we're going to play teams in Kent. So we had to like explain why we wouldn't just.
Oh yeah, so say for example they do actually make it to the national league, whatever. Surely they're gonna have to get like a bus or like a team bus to take them across the country.
Football in general, we had to show that profitability to say, actually not even profitability, just having running costs to show we can pay for the facilities. So you know each game at Erith costs a certain amount. Floodlights cost more, referees cost more, food and drink cost more, opening the bar costs more, everything costs. So making sure that we don't
everything costs, facts.
And, like not be able to pay the bills is really important.
We've had a long wait ahead as it's ultimately down to the FA to decide whether our application is successful at the end of the season. Even though the league want us, in the meantime we've got a lot to sort to meet ground grading requirements. I spoke with Alex from Formation Games and the former chief exec of the FA to find out more about this.
So for us, we're trying to get our foot in the door, go up the football pyramid. It's something that I had a vision of some years ago and never really got round to it. Now we're doing that.
And they can actually kick ball. That would go off. Wait. Or like streamers. Oh, that would be wavy.
One of my closest friends, Manny, my friends.
Wait.
To kick ball with my brother and just get fit, get a little bit fitter.
Yeah, I want to do that, man. Start a Sunday league team one day, man. And just kick ball with my boy. Sit that flat. Hold on.
And we're finding there's a lot of different obstacles that I wouldn't have had a clue about otherwise. From a, obviously you were previously in the FA, from an FA perspective, is there anything...
Wait, he was in the FA?
Really got round to it. Now we're doing that. And we're finding there's a lot of different obstacles that I wouldn't have had a clue about otherwise. From a, obviously you were previously in the FA, from an FA perspective, is there anything you can advise us on or give us information behind the scenes, little gems that we can use to our advantage?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, you understand the rules are there, like, I would describe the rules as firstly there to kind of protect the leagues, and really that's to protect the clubs themselves, because you want to be able to finish the league, right? And then the next layer I would say is it's around protecting the players. So the standards of, you know, the facilities that you've got are consistent. You know there's going to be a game. You know it's not going to be waterlogged. You know, hopefully there's not going to be a big sinkhole in the middle of the pitch.
We've had a few games where we might turn up to the pitch and then there's a little divot, so we've had to go and get some sand and fill it in, and you know what I mean? Those sort of things.
Do you avoid the dog mess on the...
We had one the other day where we had to get a cone and scoop it off. So it is...
What's interesting for me is, because I also saw it at the UEFA level and at Premier League level, so you can see how these kind of rules ladder up. Because you then get into like the spectator experience and like this little stand you've got, little covered stand, and then you get into turnstiles and how people access the game, and then you get into like refreshments and capacities and sight lines, and then you get into like coaching standards, and so you can see how this all ladders right up to the rules around UEFA competitions.
For me as a player going around playing Saturday semi-pro, whatever, I just thought if a club was providing food after the game, I thought, oh, these guys are nice guys. I didn't know it was a requirement for them to do these things. Oranges at half time. When we were younger, I didn't realise these were requirements for them to do. So now, for us, we are now having to understand that actually if we want to run a football club, we have to be able to hit these certain marks. Otherwise, we're not going to be eligible to go into the league. So it's a battle, but it's one that we're trying to be well equipped for and do whatever we can to get into it.
I actually didn't know that, you know.
Example on,
I didn't know that that was a rule where you have to give, like, you have to supply those things at half time. I didn't know that.
Maidstone
But it
United,
was given it to us
remember
for
when they
free.
came in 2012 with their plastic pitch,
Yeah.
and that was interesting because they can't get into the football league with that
You can't
plastic
go
pitch.
higher.
Even
I
still.
heard something from speaking with Spencer.
Oh, you
He
can't.
said something like, if you're going to be promoted, your pitch has to already be at the standard of the level that you're going to be promoted. I had no idea. So imagine you're first and you don't have the facilities to go up. You just won't go up. So do they replace you with another team?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Wow.
That would spin my head. So we have to make sure that if we want to go up to the next level, we're
always looking up to the standards. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense though, because you can't just get there and look around. Kind of like what Luton almost did, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They were in danger of losing that spot.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
After my chat with Alex, we've been hard at
Because
work getting
Luton
the
was
ground
a
prepared
mess.
for approval. This has included fixing up a turnstile for gate fees, covering this bit of concrete with Astro, putting signage everywhere, fixing up the ref rooms and installing a bell, making sure the pitch can't be seen from the outside of the grounds, and with extreme difficulty.
Wait, what?
getting
Oh,
our
yeah,
hands
the stadium makes sense.
some
They can just jump the fence and then I get it.
everywhere, fixing up the ref rooms and installing a bell, making sure the pitch can't be seen from the outside of the grounds, and with extreme difficulty, getting our hands on some dugouts. It's safe to say with all this work, I'm starting to feel like a real football club owner, and you guys can do just the same if you download the new mobile football game called Club. It's free to play, and you guys can assume the role of
Manny, man, always trying to do yourself form. I see what you're trying to do.
Shareholder information game, so it would mean a lot if you guys can help, support, and download the game. Check it out, and I promise you, you will not regret it. The link is in the description to download Club. In the meantime, I caught up with some of the team to tell you a bit more about Club.
So when you think about a football club owner, from your perspective, what goes into that and what have you put into the game to try and capture that whole experience?
Yeah, so I mean, the inspiration behind Club is really about giving, all football fans around the world the ability to step into the shoes of a football club owner, regardless of where they live in the world. So, we've taken inspiration from UTR, the ability to, upgrade your club, the pitch, starting off with just a pitch in the park, but the ability to kind of, upgrade that all the way up to, a 90,000, capacity stadium.
Damn.
Also, really honed in on players.
I know it's AI, but I just can't imagine how you can literally just take a pitch in the park to that.
Starting off with just a pitch.
But then what happens to all? Actually, no, nothing anyways. What happens to all these houses though?
But the ability to kind of,
Yeah, all these houses are getting cooked.
upgrade that all the way.
Yeah, jeez.
Up to a 90,000 capacity stadium, and we've also really honed in on players, the squad. That's what we think as as a club owner is really compelling. We've met with club owners like yourself, who they're changing the light bulb in the clubhouse, they're flipping burgers at half time, and although that gives us some inspiration for mini games, we think the things that you as a player want to be doing every day is upgrading your stadium and just kind of developing that squad of yours.
I feel like there's always been that gap in the market for something that gives you more control, because everyone's done management games or different types of simulation games and stuff, but this is one where you can pretty much control everything.
100%.
I think that we're more of a community club in a way. I feel like I wouldn't say I'm incredibly hands-on with everything. I have the guys that try and lessen the workload for me. They know that sometimes things are busy for me, so I have Marth, Oscar, Brad, Lan, Tolu, all these guys, and even say for example something as simple as one of our players, our captain Tolu, his brother for a good period was volunteering and doing the lines for us and stuff, so it all ties in together, and when you have that sort of system, it's easier to sort of run the club. Obviously in this case you can be as hands-on as you want, right?
Yeah, I think that's part of the just giving people the
He's like Ben White.
Get that feeling of what it owns to a football club, because I'm sure, like I say, it has its struggles, right, but it also has its up moments, like when you see the team succeed, when it's a club you've created, you come up with the name, the badge, it's everything, seeing a new kit for the first time that you guys had. I guess that feeling's so good for you that we're maybe trying to get that feeling across to everyone who loves football.
Yeah. Do you know one fun fact? Who do you reckon designed this logo?
Oh, I actually don't know, I think it's got to be from an artist designer from, that looks so nice. I think it's got to be an artist designer from the side, man.
Well, I'm assuming not you because of that. It's quite a good logo.
Who do you reckon designed it?
Not Marv. Surely not Marv.
Toby designed that logo.
I told you, I called it. At least you called it.
Is that public knowledge that he...
I don't think it is. So I download the game right now. Where do I start? Who's the first person that I'm talking to?
Well, so you pick your club name, like under the radar as well. Was that, I assume?
Toby made that logo, yeah? Fair. I told you it's something for the side, man.
Again, possibly one of the biggest decisions you're probably going to have. How long did it take you to come up with the name of under the radar?
Not long, to be honest. I was thinking, hey, we've got some good ballers in the team, some people.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting it under the radar.
Under the radar. And I like to, I go with a rule of when you are creating something, it has to have a nice abbreviation. So UTR.
UTR.
It has to be something to say quickly, it's snappy.
So it just happened like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're creating something, have a nice abbreviation. I like that. UTR. I like that.
I still remember being in my little office, writing it on the post-it note.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And
That's
then, like
crazy.
say, once you made it, you stuck with it. So you can change your name of our club if you don't like it and you just want to put a name in first. But yeah, you choose the name of your club and then you're actually met by yours truly as the agent who brings you your very first player. You obviously start off with lower ranked Premier League players. We have iron, bronze, silver, gold and platinum players. Obviously your Odegaards, your De Bruyne's, Haaland's, Salah's of this world, all platinum players, but you start off with iron and bronzes. And Manny, you are a level 1 agent that brings them a player. But again, you've had quite a lot of flack, a lot of stick. I think people genuinely...
People are sick of me.
People genuinely are playing our game thinking you, after all the 1,000 people click meet now, they're thinking we go that to you, and then you, right, give him that bronze Southampton unused sub.
Some messages about it.
Give him that unused sub from Southampton. Manny's made that decision, like, why is he doing this to me? But I think people are starting to warm up.
Yo, I can smell food. Oh my god, I just got a whiff of food, bro.
They progress. So obviously you start with level 1. You're in a level 1 stadium as well. As you upgrade your stadium, you upgrade your agent, and you can either choose to upgrade your agent to bring you better players, or upgrade your stadium because you're for the fans. So that's another owner dilemma.
So upgrading your stadium, do you then bring in more revenue into the club?
You bring in more revenue. You bring in more fans for your club. So again, it's whether you want to be. Do you want to be the most supported club in the world with loads of fans that has a real good community and maybe you have the nicest stadium? Or do you want to be the club that has the best players because you've concentrated on upping your agent and bringing you up to a level 8 agent where they actually might...
I'm a competitive guy, I'll be upgrading that agent.
Exactly,
yeah.
That's the tycoon element of the game. But yeah, I must say...
Wait, hold on, I'm getting scammed. This is all about a game. I'm thinking they're talking about the actual club. Yo, what? This is all an advert.
When you bring them there, I think my brother actually the other day...
Wait, when's Ginge playing?
Manny bought me Ross Barkley for the 3rd time after I rejected him.
Okay, yeah.
It's
the
just,
player.
Yeah, this is under the radar.
With all the work continuing on meeting the ground grading requirements, a huge issue presented itself.
Ooh, that pitch looks nice though.
What do you want? Well, we've sorted Erif out, so we've got the lease for a year, which means we can apply. The problem is, the SCEFL have told us that another team has claimed that they're using Erif. So obviously, we've got us that play on a Sunday, we've got Halls who play on a Saturday, and no one else plays there on a Saturday.
Can I guess who it is? It's Dons, isn't it? Dons.
They didn't say, but Dons played a charity game on the Sunday, and on the Monday the league is saying 3 teams are claiming they're in the ground. So yeah, we'll have to work through that one, but because we've got a lease, we can send it to the SCEFL and just say, where's the other team's lease? Because I guarantee they won't have a lease agreement. They'll just have someone saying, oh yeah, there's a free spot on a Saturday. So it's not a big deal, but it's just another roadblock to overcome.
We needed to have the home ground issue sorted, as without this, we could not get into the SCEFL.
League release day. Wait, okay, hold on. What's the issue at hand? I wasn't really listening.
It's the player. Yeah, this is under the radar.
With all the work continuing on meeting the ground grading requirements, a huge issue presented itself.
Alright, you finally got us here? What do you want?
Well, we've sorted Erif out, so we've got the lease for a year, which means we can apply. The problem is, the SCEFL have told us that another team has claimed that they're using Erif. So obviously, we've got us that play on a Sunday.
So another team has claimed that they're using the pitch. Got you.
You've got Halls.
I think at least. League release day. Please make it into the national whatever.
You've all, without doubt, seen, because
Oscar.
I've had about 50 phone calls already today. we haven't been put in the provisional SCEFL table.
What does that mean?
Despite everything that we'd worked through for the last year. Obviously, there was spots available for us to come into, with it only being a 16-team league.
Oh, they didn't get in.
The fact that any other league in the country was having a minimum of 18, meaning that there was 2 spots, even with a promotion and no relegation. But we were told very clearly that the league was supportive of us going in. Our application was approved by the league, so the league did submit for us. But it appears today that they've decided they're going to move 3 teams from East London into the SCEFL, which is obviously south of London. As of right now, we've got not many options. I've already asked about how we can appeal, and there is a appeal process, but we have to get the league to do it for us. Because
and what's the likelihood of that? Because if they're supportive of us, but are they going to be scared to upset?
Yeah, well, I think that's where the reality of it comes in.
No.
I don't know why they wouldn't appeal, because why would they want teams from East London in a league that's been South London and Kent for its entire existence? It was literally...
It sounds like it makes no sense.
There's a reason why it got rejected, which would be because...
Because we're a YouTube team.
They have a committee vote. We don't know who's on the committee. It's the non-league system committee, and people chose not to allow.
Plot twist. They know someone on the committee. Someone on the committee does their thing. Bow, doing the team, doing the league. Sorry.
Under the radar, but you'd have teams who've now got reserve teams in the league in Step 6. We've got teams that folded last season have got their first team back in the league. So I don't know how a team that folds because they can't afford it can go back in the league. But then someone like us can't. And if the logic is that those teams that folded have got supporters, I think we've probably got more supporters than some of these non-league teams that have folded, but maybe it's not in person. So
I think they're probably missing something, because I think it would be a good we'd benefit the league in multiple
I was about to say they would benefit the league.
But I guess for us now, we got to figure
Manny,
out.
you're looking leng in black, by the way.
And what the next steps are.
You're looking leng. I need to get a goatee with some facial at my thing.
Prem, which is the league below, it's technically a feeder league. It would be Step 7, but again, we'd have to try and get all the players to buy into that for a start. We'd have to try and get the space as well.
Brad will play. Marth will play.
Dual signing thing. Yeah, I would definitely play, mate. All I'm saying is, me as a striker, we're getting 20 goals a season minimum, mate. No, it's annoying.
What's his name? Is it Leroy? Is it Leroy? I forget his name. Lamar, not Lamar. Leroy. What's his name?
I don't want to say they didn't want us in the league, because that's not the case. But how it seems to us is that as if they didn't want to actually try and adjust anything, especially what we could bring for the league as well. But it is what it is. We just gotta.
They could actually make the league better. Manny's got how many subs Manny have? Manny's got 2 million subs. I guarantee you 500,000 of those people gonna support. I don't want to say anymore.
Access into the league by the FA, there was an opportunity that brought itself about. This was to buy another existing football club in the football pyramid at Step 6. However, at the time I was away in Mexico and I was not on the ground enough to try and sanction this decision to see if it was the right thing going forward. Following that, it seemed like the dream of going from Sunday League to semi-pro was all over. We don't know exactly what the future holds as of now, but one thing I will say is never say never. We've had our obstacles, and who knows what the future holds.
UTR for me, as a lot of people know, is one of the biggest projects of my life. It's the baby of my life. I really see UTR as the end result for myself. So what I would see UTR in the future is having an impact in our community. Obviously, that's South East London. Whether that be working with children, as in building them up to become footballers, whether it be developing their social skills so they're able to use football to make friends, to have an impact within their families, whatever it is. I just want UTR to be the place that...
Look at the boys, man. Jedit up playing professional football for Corley. He didn't get released. I don't know what he's playing for now, but I do know he's changed clubs.
You learn social skills, and you're able to use this in the rest of your life. Whether that means you go pro,
Yeah, is it call it
whether you
down?
go further in football, that's not the main result for me. I just really want to help the younger generation push on in their life, however it may be through football.
Future plans for UTR. I feel like the last couple of seasons we've stepped away and we've lost that sort of family feel in the club, and everyone's sort of on the same page. So I want to get that back. I want to have a good season, and I want to also find a way to re-engage our younger audience again, and maybe even do something that involves them. Maybe potentially a football academy that we can get some players in, try and nurture the talent and give them opportunities that they might not have otherwise. Give them a spotlight where
Football academy, crazy.
and,
UTR academy.
give them opportunities in the professional game. So that could be next.
I built my dream life, but I used AI to help me get there. Try Motion. It's a
I said W video, man. Nah, on a real W video.